Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Office Hours. This week, I'm once again joined by the wonderful Flo. How's it going, Flo?
Doing good, thank you, Matthew. Hello, everyone.
And I hope the heat wave has calmed down in Paris now, Flo. It's no longer 38 degrees, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm cheating. I'm in Normandy.
Ah, okay. That's definitely cheating. Hey, Batik. Yes, I'll put a link in the chat now. Hey, Batik. How's it going?
Hey, Matthew. Hey, Flo. Nice to see you. It's fine.
It's good to
How
see you
are
again.
you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine too. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah. Maybe some insights about ETAs of new elements like Gantt chart.
Yeah, I was just talking about with the dev that is in charge of it like 10 minutes ago. So we still have some tests to run right now, and we had some performance issue with that element. So it could be a bit longer than expected. So we'll have more feedback to give next week.
I see. But it's totally fine because I think the WeWeb have the most loyal clients, because as I always say, you created something that provided me possibility to create and build what I wanted to build for like 10 years maybe. So that's very cool, very awesome. So I'll wait. It's totally okay. Yeah, but I'm looking forward for it.
I would say the same thing, Batik, but maybe what I would say would be biased or be considered biased if I said it.
Okay. No, you're not biased, Matthew. Totally.
Thank
because you. The past week I think I was able to self-host my whole front end, and that was extremely brilliant. I'm not thinking about like leaving WeWeb. I just wanted to test like the whole code, and it's totally functionable. So yeah, it's really awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
So today I really wanted to ask you two issues, like one with WeWeb AI. Just, I'm just curious, maybe I'm doing something wrong. So let me share my screen. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So what I wanted to do is to like build a whole new element document timeline because I wasn't able to modify this one or to properly set the aligning of this element. This is the base element, timeline element, in the WeWeb. So what I wanted to achieve is to align this connector line on the left side of the screen. And I just couldn't handle it myself. Maybe you can suggest something to achieve that. So because when I set in size and width like 100%, it always places it like in the middle of the screen.
Interesting. And if on the section, if you put it back to 100% Batik for the width,
okay.
and then click on the section,
and
then so you also have this on alignment left. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. And I was thinking that this is about this events alignment, because like it's reserving the space for the left part, but I don't know how to like prevent it from reserving this space when I place in all the
if
all
you
the timeline.
In the settings on the right, if you put align self to left, just
Align
in
self, okay.
to left. No, okay, sorry. I thought that might do something, but no.
So I also tried to fork it, and ask WeWeb AI to make some alignments for me, but there was no good. Let me show you. So this is the forked element, and only thing it does, it just changing the position of the timeline cards, like changing the padding, changing margins, and that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just do a quick test. I thought you could remove the left part. It might be wrong.
Initially, Batik, when you loaded it up, what did you have the width set to? Did you have it set to 50% or something like that? I can't remember. Of the timeline, or was it div?
Yes. There's a strange behavior when I when I'm not given enough space for it, it places it like I want it to be. Let me show you. I just want to hide this, and okay, maybe. So yeah. It works fine, but I just can't expand my timeline cards.
So okay, you need to wrap it indeed, and then your card. So let me check this. Okay, so you need to wrap it in a fixed. So in your div, So click on your div. So the parent of this one.
Yeah.
Okay, and you need to give it a fixed width, like 500 pixels. Okay, and now so your card should. If you click on that card, then you can change the width of your card. Okay, this should work.
So, like 1,000 pixels, the width of the parent div, and I want 100%, and I want it to be like, no, it doesn't work.
Wait, it's not. Okay, can you click again on the div, the parent?
Yes.
Is it aligned? So let me check the alignment. Oh, why? Take a look.
So it works with 500, and it doesn't work with like 1,000. Yeah.
Okay, so we need to. Oh, indeed. Why? 500 is working. 600 it's not. Okay, so we need to. Could you create a ticket for this?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
There's an issue with the alignment if you don't have any card.
Yeah.
On the
Okay.
left, it should be aligned. Can you make sure to add between brackets OH for office hour in the title of your ticket?
Okay. I'll do.
So it will be easier for Matthew and I to follow up if it is.
Yeah, Flo. Yeah, I'll put a ticket. And the second one, I just want to be as quick as possible in the case when someone is waiting. I don't know.
No, you're all good. I think it's just you for now.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my second attempt to create document timeline like from the scratch with the WeWeb AI. Where's my? Yeah, this is my prompt. Like I was trying to describe all the things I need, and I asked it do not create any workflows and create variables only with fake data. And it created fake data. I can see it right here. No, I think I changed. Oh no, it's okay. So right here inside repeating items, I see the data, but I don't know why it doesn't display it.
Can you click again?
Yeah. I think it may be bug, but I just want to make sure. Maybe I'm don't know about.
Can you open the formula again, please?
Formula again, okay.
Yes, this one. Can you click preview?
Preview.
Yeah. No. Could you trace this back, Patik? So where in the layout tree does it suddenly become invisible? Is it from the timeline? It's from here.
Yeah, it's from here. Yeah. So I can see the document, the page title, and I can see. What
can you
this?
open that one? Yeah. Yes, okay. This one. Okay, so you do have some data here. And can you click on? Yeah. Can you go through in the tree? In the children? Yeah. The first one. Just need to check the first binding. Okay, the second one, the next one. And here,
timeline marker.
Yeah, something is bound to.
Yeah, so timeline marker is, I think it's this little dots, the green one, the gray one, and I can switch.
Okay, and you do have different colors. So this one is working. Okay,
so the timeline content is totally empty, like invisible.
Okay, and inside, okay, this one. False. Init value false.
Yeah, I also checked, the display settings, and I think they are fine.
Could you go on the timeline content again, Patik?
Timeline content, okay.
And then just on the right side, if you scroll to the very bottom. No, so there's no custom CSS. And if you just scroll up to make sure the opacity isn't. Have you put the Z-axis on? No, okay. That's very odd.
And what's approvals? Yeah, approval cycle content. Is this one? Can you click toggle edition for this one? You see the button just below the init value on the right hand side.
Edition?
Yes, this one.
Okay.
Okay, what is this?
Yes, something changing. I don't know. It was generated, auto-generated. So I think that the height is changing, and
out of curiosity, if you drag the timeline content div outside of the timeline items div, so you just drag it to be completely out of this, just to see if anything. No, it's still invisible.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very old one.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe there was some mistake during generation. I was trying, sometimes not working, element is evident.
Okay, well, can you create another ticket for this so we could take a look directly in
okay.
in the project? It would be much more easier for us to find out why it's hidden like this.
Okay.
There is something we need to understand.
Yeah, that's the first time I saw something like this, because previous times it worked correctly.
There is a display issue somewhere. We need to figure out what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Flo. That's
well, sorry, we could not help you here with
no, it's okay. It's not crucial issues, just curious ones.
Cool. Well, thank you, Batik.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Bye. Super. In the meantime, there was a chat from Brad. I think he had to drop, but it's probably still a good one to answer. There was recently an outage that affected site availability. If I use WeWeb to build a HIPAA compliant site and host it, so self-host it, would an outage be possible? And I think really the answer is no, Flo, right? Because it's completely non-reliant on WeWeb servers if you self-host.
Almost. So it depends on the plugins you are using. So if you are using Airtable plugin, for example, you still have a dependency with us because we have to hide your secret keys. It won't be the case in the coming months. We are going to revamp that part also, so you could self-host this also. But if you are using, for example, Supabase Zano, it won't be the case. When you self-host, it's completely independent. It's living where you are hosting it, so no issue here. But if you are using a plugin like Airtable or a DB connection, something like this, there is a backend part, so you still have a dependency with us. But that was the first time we had an issue with that server in, I think, 6 years. We added some securities. We added some alerts. We revamped some production processes. So hopefully, if it happens again, it would be completely different on our side. But yeah, if you are really hosting in yourself and you wish to be in full control without any dependency with us, you need to use right now a plugin like Supabase or Zano for the backend side.
And I will put a link in the chat to our hosting docs, and in there's a section that lists all of the microservice dependencies that we have. So all of the plugins Flo was talking about, where if you self-host, it's just one to be aware of that you're still reliant on our servers for. Cool. Okay. And there was a question from Tamar. Hey guys, how can we implement the skeleton? I saw actually the marketing team put out a very cool, I think Joyce recorded a video on it a few days ago where she put out a video on how to have AI implement skeletons. So actually, Tamar, first thing I would ask WeWeb AI to see if it can implement the skeletons, because it did a pretty good job from our testing. Outside of that, I'll find the docs for this because there's a pretty thorough guide in the docs on how best to implement it. But as I say, first things first, I think giving the AI a go for this would be the first point of action, because it usually does a pretty good job. I'll also put a link in the docs to the loader, which has a guide on implementing it. Cool, okay. Let's switch over to Abby, who's joined us. Hey, Abby, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, how's it going?
Good, thank you. How are you guys?
Good. How can we help?
Yes, thank you so much. So I think follow-up from 2 weeks ago, I had an issue with the Supabase auth redirect thing, and I raised a ticket, and Daniel helped me. So I really appreciate that help. It has considerably smoothened my experience in terms of being able to easily switch between the editor, the preview website, and my production website without having to keep changing my site URL in Supabase. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Awesome.
It was within the formula, if I'm correct, right? Yeah, you had sometime an undefined value in the formula. It was
no. So I had to basically use custom JS because auth plugin was not capturing the right redirect, the home base URL. I think the plugin was not automatically capturing it, so I had to like just write custom JS, which Daniel was very kind to write it and send it to me. That's
Super.
Okay, cool. I have a question. Let me present my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. So I have a question around filtering. So I'm trying to, so I have a table, I have a collection, and when I implement some filtering logic, right, I only see like, for example, 5 objects, but my understanding is I have some filters on what I want to filter the collection on, but when I do like the length of this, the numbers don't add up. I have noticed that when I ask AI to do this, it does a lookup for a key. Do you recommend doing a lookup and then finding the length of the array, or this should ideally work, right?
Out of curiosity, if you take it out of the formula, so you get rid of the brackets and the length at the start, and if at the end of it you do dot length, so in the formula window, if you just type dot and then length, it's slightly blurry on my side. It's the same, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same, yeah.
So what you would like is to have the length, but of your filtered array, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it can sound sounds weird, but it's not that easy to do.
It was going to sound weird.
So is that because these functions are run on like the whole collection?
No, it's because the filter is applied on the front-end side in here.
Okay.
And so then we would need we don't expose the value.
Okay.
Here. So basically, where you are using this length, you would have to apply the same filter.
Okay.
To get the length, because we are not exposing that. We are not exposing the filtered value to the other elements. It's just displayed here. Yeah. Sorry, it's weird, but but basically in here you are adding a filter on your list on the front side, and then it's displayed. And I guess you need to display the length somewhere else on your page, right? When you are filtering. Where are you using the length on your page?
Over here. So for example, I just want to, like, I have active requests pending. So there is like, I have a form, like a way to get requests, and then there are different statuses. So I want to split this is like a dashboard view of how many requests were submitted, how many are active, how many are closed. That's how I'm trying to implement this.
Yeah. So instead of using the filters below, you have to create the filter within the formula. So okay. in the formula in here, you should find almost the same one, which is filter. Can you type in filter in the search in here?
I think I did this for another request. When I ask AI to do it, it'll just what it does is it does a lookup based on key.
Okay.
Yeah, filter by key.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can do the same thing. So there is a workaround. It's not like a major issue.
You can do it like this. Otherwise, another workaround would be to, on page load, just to have a workflow triggered.
Okay.
And you create a dedicated variable for it.
Yeah.
So, and basically, when the page loads, you update that variable using the change variable value action. And so in that action, you can use the filters like this.
Correct. Okay. Makes sense.
And then you will be able to use dot length or the length formula in here.
Okay.
Instead. So it can So you can have the same experience of building your filter.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Super helpful. Thank you. I have one more question. So I'm in the process of launching, hopefully soon this week, fingers crossed. But I want to understand how can I have a staging and dev environment. So I have my app, right? I'd like to create like a replica of that app, and that could be like my staging app. Only because the staging app should ideally connect to the staging database, and not the production database. That's like best practice. So how do I implement that on WeWeb? I could I could clone the app and create a new app, but how do I keep both the apps sync, or how do I move over the features once I'm ready to move a new UI feature to production?
So you're using Supabase, huh? Correct?
Yes, yes.
So with Supabase, it's a bit more tricky. So the best practice is not to clone your app. It will be difficult for you to merge.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, what you could do is to so you're going to need to have another environment on Supabase. So you have two solutions.
Mm-hmm.
If you are you can run Supabase locally. It's sticky. So you can take a look to this, and then you can add the local hosts in the plugin configuration. And work locally. When you're done, before publishing, you put back the connection to the production in the plugin. We are going to add some UI for this, so you just have to do it once. But right now, before deploying, you have to change the configuration in the plugin. So you can do it locally with Supabase and then manage migration with Supabase. It's a bit tricky. Another way I've seen users doing that, they create another Supabase project.
Correct.
And what they do is that they use one Supabase project for the staging environment, and they are playing with it and so on. And so you connect the staging environment within the editor. You make your changes. And when you're done, you make the same changes on the productions on the other project, the Supabase project in production. So you can run the same queries and so on. It needs to be, you need to figure out this. And then before deploying again, you connect to the production before clicking deploy.
Okay. So my question is, I have noticed, so I've tried to change my Supabase database a couple of times, right? Like I created a test one, and then like, okay, now I want a new one. Every time I change the Supabase data source, all the fields get dropped. As in, WeWeb knows that there's this field, but it strikes it off in the UI. So then I have to go back and reconnect all those fields manually. Like for example, if there is a workflow where I'm updating a particular field, if I change so let's say I have a staging database and a dev database. If I change from staging to dev, all my workflows break because that connection was lost. So then I have to go back and redo all the forms and all the workflows to connect to the new connection. Does that make sense?
Are you using only the Supabase plugin, or are you making a REST API request, or with some?
No, just the plugin. No, just the plugin.
We definitely need to take a look to this, because normally it should work, because it's just the instance. So if the data is the same, if the fields are the same, it should work.
Okay.
We are just saving path basically, so normally it should work.
Okay.
So could you record a video of this and create a ticket, so we could take a look to it and figure out why you had those issues? Normally you just have to basically connect to another Supabase DB within the plugin, and it should work. Your workflows should work. The bindings should work. If you are getting the same datas, definitely work.
Okay, so in that case, you're saying like if I have two DBs and they have the exact same schema and the table names and everything, and I can connect to two data sources in my WeWeb, once I push changes to the production, then I come back to WeWeb and I change, like I just switch it out. Like in my workflows, I just change from the production to the other database. All the other fields should remain the same. That should not be
Yes.
changed. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You just have to update the plugin configurations. That's it.
Okay. Okay. I'll give that a try because I haven't done two simultaneously. I have swapped one for the other, and that's when I noticed like some of my workflows broke. But I'll give that a try. Thank
Normally
you so
it
much.
should work. You might need to reload at one point the editor, but
Sure,
but it should definitely work. And because we have users self-hosting, for example, those projects, and when you self-host, you have a file where you have to put your other Supabase links. So we have some clients using Supabase internally in an environment without internet, for example.
Okay.
And so they are publishing the web project, the application, and they just have to update a file with the links. So that's why I'm saying it should work.
It should work.
Because
Okay.
it's working for them. So normally, so we need to take a look to understand why it's not working for you. So I'm pretty curious to find out why.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Super.
Thank you.
Great. All right. Cheers, Abby. And then while Abby was discussing his Supabase issue, Batik put in chat, he said, I forgot to mention, I'm also having the content too large problem. I know we're working this flow, so I don't know if you wanted to give an update on it.
Yeah, it's top of our mind. We thought we could release the fix earlier, but we still need a couple of weeks, just a bit more to run the last test. So you're gonna have basically a context manager system. So you will be able to provide all the application to AI or just a part of it. So only it should be fixed in the coming months. Coming weeks. Sorry. So I'm really sorry for this. I'm going to ask for a bit more patience for that. But we are definitely on it.
Yes. And then Tamar had another question related to adjusting time zones. So she says, hey, second question, how do I adjust the time zone based on each user, adjust the time, sorry, based on each user's time zone? I actually have a quick example. So while you're discussing with Abby Flo, I tested this on my side. So if I understand your question correctly, Tamar, what you can do is you can add the date plugin to your project, and then you would just need to use this formula. So this is a bit nested. So just to break it out a bit, there's two formulas that I'm using. So in the date formulas, you have all of these formulas. And so the two that I'm using is get browser time zone and then convert date time zone. So I'm using three formulas, actually, correction, three formulas. Get browser time zone, convert date time zone, and then date real time. So get browser time zone to get the time zone of the user's browser, convert date time zone to convert the date to whatever date it needs to be based on the time zone. And then I use date real time to pass in the current date. So if I switch back to here, I have convert date time zone. I'm passing in as the first parameter the current date, and the second parameter is the user's browser's time zone. Sorry, which should align with what I think you're asking if I understood it correctly. And then a follow-up question after that, he says, an efficiency question. Is there any difference between sections, div, and flex? So div and flex are the same. I think recently we might have actually introduced a change where before, when you dragged a div onto the page, we called it flex. Now it's called div. So div and flex are the exact same thing, just different wording. The section, I'd love to actually get your take on this, Flo. How would you best describe a section in WeWeb in comparison to a div?
Sections is a div that is full width, and it's a way to reuse it between pages. So basically, section is pretty powerful to when you need to reuse a section on another page. But it's technically speaking, it's a div with just a tag section in the HTML, but it doesn't change anything. So for us, in terms of process, it's a way to use multi-page sections. So to reuse that section everywhere to create an instance of it. So when you make a change, you can see the change on every pages. So basically to create menus, for example, or footers. But I think you were mentioning efficiency. So there is no difference between all of them. So it's basic diff. So if you are looking for improving efficiencies, one key thing is to add fixed height on all the things you are repeating. So when you repeat something, use fixed height so your browser won't calculate everything. That's the best practice.
And just a follow-up, Batik and Tamara asked the same question. And I had this same question, guys, when I first joined the team, because I wasn't aware of the differences, because it's not evident at first. The difference between a div and container is just a container by default has 100% width set, and it has a max width applied. That's the only difference. So it's the exact same, just with some sizing defaults.
It's a preset. That's it.
And then tomorrow I had a question after that again. WeWeb to make a new ID for each collection, even if it has the same name. So I think this was in relation to Supabase. If you create two Supabase collections and they both have the same name, the ID created for the collection would be different. So yes, they would be, I believe, because the ID generated would just be a unique ID.
Yes.
Abhishek has a question. How can we import Bootstrap or Tailwind into our WeWeb project? It's an interesting one. My perhaps biased stance on this would be that it's actually easier just to rebuild the components as no-code components in WeWeb and do it that way. But then, of course, you could just build them as custom components, right, Flo?
Yeah, sure. Well,
Tailwind, I guess not so much, yeah.
It's a bit different, yeah. Because you would have to create all the classes and everything. So there is no way to implement it like you do in when you are coding. Yeah. So if you are looking for a design system like this, like Matthew said, the best ways would be to create your own one based on this, or to ask AI to do it, because now AI can create your design system tokens since this morning. But the communication is coming. It was a hidden release.
That'd be interesting. No, I'm not sure. I'm curious to ask if it can add a Tailwind design system with the tokens.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. But I think we are going to create some design systems that you could use right immediately. But I'm pretty sure AI could create one for you. That would be nice.
Marcus has a question. Hey, Matthew and Flo, do you guys have any suggestions to me to start to work with AI and content load on page? For example, I want to use OpenAI to read some tables and charts and help the user. I don't think he finished his, I want to use OpenAI to read some tables and charts and help the user. So I think he wants, basically on page load, he wants to make a request to OpenAI, feed it some data about tables and charts, and then have it analyze it in some way so he can give feedback to the user visually.
I love that use case. I love it. So right now, the first thing you need to do is to select a backend to do it. So basically, Supabase or Xano would be my recommendation for doing this, because because you need tables. So yeah, you need to select one of them, and when this is done, this logic should be on the backend side. So when the page loads, you should then trigger an endpoint in Xano or an edge function in Supabase to get the data, and display what you want. So with Supabase, you will be able to do it with our AI. You can ask our AI to create an edge function for this. But yeah, I really like your use case, and I think we are going to work on it.
Nice. And then Tamar had a follow-up point. When I used collections and variables, it added a UI displaying the variable names, but I think it's partially disappeared. It would be great if you could make it consistent for all objects. Do you mean in the custom JavaScript editor, Tamar, where you hover over like the ID of a variable, it shows you the variable name? Is that what you mean? You would like that also for collections? Yes. So it was the showing the variable names and collection names when you hover over them in the custom JavaScript editor. I know, again, this is something we've discussed internally, Flo, about showing things on hover inside of the JavaScript editor. So it's been discussed.
Yeah, right now you can hover. Normally, some variables you will have some information even within the JavaScript editor, but we are talking about displaying a label, really the name of the collection instead of the variable within that editor. But it's harder than we thought. It takes time to do.
Yeah. And Tamar actually just said that as you were saying that, Flo. He says, yeah, not just hovering, but actually showing the name. So the name of the variable. Yeah. So that's what we're discussing internally. But as Flo said, unfortunately, it's I think it would be a massive quality of life improvement, but unfortunately, yeah, there's a lot of technical implications that go with it.
Oh yes. Sometimes the small things
yeah
are the hardest to do.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
I know you're still in the lobby with us, Batik. If you have any more questions, feel free to let us know and we can hop back over. Tamara's asked about the dropdown in the data grid. I guess the select. So correct me if I'm wrong on this, Flo, but I think right now there's two versions of the select in the editor. And I think there's a specific one you need to use in the data grid, right, to make it work correctly in the data grid.
Yeah, indeed, we need to check what element you used, but normally one of them is working within its. The reason is that the data grid is working differently.
Yes. So if you type in select in the add panel, Tamar, basically whichever one you've used, try and use the other one and see if that works, because it should the overflow should work correctly if you use the correct select that's made for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because technically speaking, it's not an overflow.
Okay, there we go. That's why.
That's why. Because you cannot have an overflow with this data grid and the virtual scoring.
Okay.
So it's using something like teleport, where it's really different. But that's why you need to use that element to make it work.
Makes sense. Yeah, if it's not the select then tomorrow and it actually is the drop-down element, I don't think it will work, unfortunately, because we've custom made the select to work with that functionality.
Yeah. If you really need something custom to pop in on top of the data grid, you need to create a pop-up for this and then have a button triggering that pop-up in the proper place. So you would have to display the pop-up. You will have to get the event, so the coordinates x and y, and then display the pop-up accordingly. So it's a bit more of work, but it's really if you need a custom display in here. And unfortunately, we don't have another way of doing it, or you should use table instead of data grid if you wish to use the ready-made tooltip. So if you are not displaying a lot of rows, you can use the table instead. So table with the tooltip, or data grid with the pop-up if this is a really custom display.
Yeah.
Pop-up it is.
Yeah.
If you struggle to display the pop-up, reach out to us. Okay.
Yeah. Super. Well, since there doesn't seem to be any further questions, I think we will wrap it up here. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us this week. Thank you, Flo, for joining us again.
Thank you, Matthew.
As always, we're here every Tuesday evening, 6 to 7 p.m. Central European Time. And yes, thanks, everyone, for joining. We shall see you all next week.